As-salaam wa-alaikum, brothers and sisters. Welcome to Year 3 of the 17 Verses podcast. I'm your host, Maher Haq. In this podcast, we take a small selection from the Quran every day and recite it to you in plain English, so you can get a small slice of God's Word while you go about your day. By averaging 17 verses per day, we're able to break the Quran down into manageable pieces and finish it in 1 year. If you enjoyed the podcast, please help spread the word. Tell your friends and family, subscribe in iTunes or Stitcher, and write us a review. Today's selection consists of 3 short surahs. The first is Surah 105, Al-Fil, or the elephant. This surah briefly recounts what happened to the Abyssinian governor Abrahah Ashram when he tried to destroy the Kabah in the same year that the Prophet was born. Tafseer for this surah is a further historical background on this event. The second is Surah 106, Quraysh, which was the Prophet's tribe. This surah admonishes Prophet Muhammad's tribe to be grateful to Allah for the Prophet, position, and security they enjoyed from living in Makkah. Tafseer for this surah concerns the historical prestige of the Quraysh. The third is Surah 107, Al-Mãün, or the small kindnesses. This surah concerns true worship, the helping and love of those in need, and true sincerity in devotion and charity. Tafseer for this surah concerns helping the indigent and our neighbors. First, Surah 105, Al-Fil. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. See you not how your Lord dealt with the companions of the elephant? Did he not make their treacherous plan go astray? And he sent against them flights of birds, striking them with stones of baked clay. Then did he make them like an empty field of stalks and straw, of which the corn has been eaten up. Ameen. Now concerning the history behind the surah. Quote, this early Meccan surah refers to an event that happened in the year of the birth of our Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, say around 570 AC. Yemen was then under the rule of the Abyssinian Christians, who had driven out the Jewish Himyarite rulers. Abrahah Ashram was the Abyssinian governor or viceroy. Intoxicated with power and fired by religious fanaticism, he led a big expedition against Mecca, intending to destroy the Kabah. He had an elephant or elephants in his train, but his sacrilegious intention was defeated by a miracle. No defense was offered by the custodians of the Kabah, as the army was too strong for them, but a shower of stones thrown by flocks of birds destroyed the invading army almost to a man. The stones produced sores and pustules on the skin, which spread like a pestilence. Unquote. Next, Surah 106, Quraysh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. For the covenants of security and safeguard enjoyed by the Quraysh, their covenants covering journeys by winter and summer, let them adore the Lord of this house, who provides them with food against hunger and with security against fear of danger. Ameen. Now concerning the historical prestige of the Quraysh. Quote, the Quraysh were the noblest tribe of Arabia. They had custody of the Kabah, the central shrine of Arabia, and their possession of Mecca gave them an advantage. This honor and advantage they owed to their position as servants of the sacred shrine of the Kabah. They owed it to Allah. Was it not therefore right and fitting that they should adore the one true God, and listen to his message of unity and purity brought by his prophets? Unquote. Lastly, we have Surah 107, Al-Mãün. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Have you seen the one who denies the day of judgment? He it is who drives away the orphan with harshness, and does not encourage the feeding of the poor. So woe to the worshippers who are neglectful of their prayers, those who want but to be seen of men, but refuse to supply even neighborly needs. Ameen. Now concerning the helping of the indigent and giving neighborly assistance. Quote, the charity or love which feeds the indigent at the expense of self is a noble form of virtue, which is beyond the reach of men who are so callous as to even discourage or forbid or look down upon the virtue of charity or kindness in others. Hypocrites make a great show of hollow acts of goodness, devotion, and charity, but they fail signally if you test them by little acts of neighborly help or charity, the 1,000 little courtesies and kindnesses of daily life, the supply of needs which cost little but mean much." Unquote. Thank you. This concludes today's episode of the 17 Verses podcast. I hope that this selection helps increase your understanding of the Holy Quran just a little bit. If you like the podcast, you can subscribe in iTunes or Stitcher and write us a review. Or you can grab the RSS feed and put it into your own podcast app. The show notes, including a text version of this episode, can be found by going to 17verses.com. That's the numbers 17, VERSES.com. Thank you, and be well.